Hi everyone, how are you doing today? Okay, so today we're gonna go through conditional clauses and also we're gonna learn the alternatives of if. So which word can we use instead of using if? Are you ready? So let's get started then. So the first alternative to if is unless. So let's read this really nice quote. Knowledge is of no value unless you put it into practice. Another one. Dreams don't work unless you do. Nobody knows what you feel inside unless you tell them. So, now we will read several sentences and you will see that. So the first one, so you will see how can we change if to unless. So generally, if not is equal to unless. So let's read them. I won't tell you what happened if you don't promise to keep it secret. So yeah, if you don't, we need to change to unless here. I won't tell you what happened unless you promise to keep it in secret. Or also this unless clause, we can move in the beginning of the sentence. Unless you practice to keep it secret, I won't tell you what happened. Okay, another one. I can't decide if he doesn't tell his plan. I can't decide unless he tells his plan. Or, unless he tells his plan, I can't decide. And last one, she wouldn't eat that food if she wasn't really hungry. She wouldn't eat that food unless she was really hungry. And last one, unless she was really hungry, she wouldn't eat that food. Alright, so you see here that if not is equal to unless. Yeah, so instead of using if not all the time, you could use unless. Okay? And also you can put this unless clause in the beginning of the sentence before the main clause. So, okay. Now let's move on to the another alternative of if. It's provided or providing. So let's read this example. You can go with us provided or providing that you pay for your own meal. So now I'm gonna provide you with more examples with this alternative of if. So alternative to if, provided or providing, here are several examples. So yeah, let's read it together, guys. So we will be there at about 7:30 if there is a suitable train. So yeah, we can change if to provided or providing. So we will be there at 7:30 provided there is a suitable train. If there are enough seats, anyone can come on the trip. Or providing that there are enough seats, anyone can come on the trip. And last one, if the boat leaves on time, we should reach France by morning. And providing that there are enough seats, anyone can come on the trip. Okay, so yeah, this is another alternative to if. Okay, so let's move on to other alternative of if. This could be imagine, suppose, or supposing. So read the quote by Brian Tracy. Imagine your life is perfect in every respect. What would it look like? So yeah. So of course here we can substitute imagine to if and vice versa. Another example for imagine is like, imagine you were taking an important exam on Monday. What would you do the weekend before? So yeah, of course, you can also answer these questions. So this is really great questions to ask yourself. And next one. Imagine you had a money tree growing in your backyard. How would you feel? Yes, that would be great actually, right? Okay, so suppose someone published your private message on Facebook. Would you be angry? Of course you are, right? Next one. Suppose the Apollo moon landing had been fake. Could the space shuttle program really have happened? So yeah, again here we just change from if to suppose and vice versa. You also could use another alternative to if here. And the other example here we have, suppose you suspected someone of lying. What signs would you look out for? Okay. All right. I hope you can use alternatives to if in your speech. So because alternatives to if will make your speech more coherent and your speech will be more natural, and instead of using boring if all the time, so you can just diversify it. Okay, so here you see inversion in conditional sentences. So yeah, now we're gonna learn how can we inverse the conditional sentences. Okay, so actually inversion is a technique of reversing the normal order of words, especially placing a verb before its subject. We use inversion when in formal languages, mostly in writing, in literature and poems, to change the emphasis and create special effect. Okay, so also we can use inversion in sentences with the auxiliary verbs like was, were, and had. So bear in mind that were is also used with the first and the third personal singular. Yeah, you could also use were with the third and first personal singular. Okay? Oh, now it's time to look at the examples. So, if it were my photograph, I wouldn't let anyone publish it. So yeah, let's inverse it. So here we just take the word if. So were it my photographs, I wouldn't let anyone publish it. So let's see the another examples here. So first one, if Alice were here, she could have performed in the program. Or you could simply say, were Alice here, we could have performed in a program. So if she were not my daughter, I have no hesitation phoning the police. And this sentence you could say with like inversion, were she not my daughter, I have no hesitation in phoning the police. Okay, so here we have other ones with had. If I had known that it was closed, I wouldn't have come to the store. Or, had I known that it was closed, I wouldn't have come to the store. Okay, do you see how can you just the same meaning or the same information you could convey in a different form? Okay, so inversion in conditional sentences, and here you have several examples, and I'm not gonna read all of them. I'm gonna read a couple of them, and of course you can always pause it and read it by yourself. Try to understand, okay? So the first one, had we booked our flight early, it wouldn't have been cheaper. So instead of saying, if we had booked our flight early, it would have been cheaper, we simply could say, had we booked our flight earlier, it would have been cheaper. And another one, had I known you were waiting outside, I would have invited you to come in. If I had known you were waiting outside, I would have invited you to come in. So yeah, you could say either this way or this way. Okay, it's this, both of them totally correct. Okay, so you just kind of make your sentence more. It's gonna make your speech more kind of natural. So yeah, instead of using all the time if, you can just inverse so use the inversion. Okay, so the other examples, I think you're gonna read it by yourself. All right, so let me read one more then. Had I known that he would lie to me, I wouldn't have trusted him. So yeah, instead of saying like, if I had known that he would lie to me, I wouldn't have trusted him, you could simply say that, had I known that he would lie to me, I wouldn't have trusted him. So yeah, so I hope it was, so you get it. And because we need to see the other things, like, so because we can use the inversion with should. So if you want to say that the condition is rather improbable, or so yeah, you need to know that should in this, so should in these types of sentences doesn't imply obligation, you know. If, like, let's read the examples and you will understand it. So if you are dissatisfied with the product, you are entitled to a product. So this is a least formal sentence. So yeah, of course, least formal sentence you can, so in this kind of sentence you can build when you are talking to your friend or with your accountant, acquaintances and so on. Next one, if you should be dissatisfied with the product, you are entitled to a refund. It's a kind of more formal thing, you know. And last one, should you be dissatisfied with the product, you were entitled to a product. So this is the most formal. So yeah, whenever you use like inversion with should, your sentence gets more formal. Okay, and here we have other examples with should, and bear in mind that whenever you use should, it will sound more formal rather than with if. Okay, so let's read them together. Should you ever need assistance, don't hesitate to call. Should you not wish a sign to the contract, you must let them know before the end of June. Should you change your mind about selling the car, I'd be happy to buy it from you. Should you wish to cancel your order, please contact our customer service department, or if you should wish to cancel your order. And of course, you can use if you should wish to cancel your order instead of should you wish to cancel your order. So if you're gonna use with if clause, then your sentence will get a little bit less formal. All right, And last one, should your child become anxious or nervous about any activity, it is a good idea to perform the team leader. Yeah, of course, here you can also use the clause with if. It's all up to you guys. So the thing is you need to be able to use different variation of building the sentences. Okay? And so yeah, let's move on. So here you see that where, had, and should can be used, so as we've told before and I've seen, without if, by moving the auxiliary verb in front of the subject. Yeah, whenever you're gonna make a sentence, so you need to put these auxiliary verbs in the beginning and your sentence will be kind of more formal. Okay, so, and when using inversion, we don't use contractions with negatives in the dependent clause. If, as you see here in example, if I didn't told the police the truth, an innocent person would have been arrested. And had I not told the police the truth, the innocent person would have been arrested. So you see that whenever you use inversion, we cannot use contractions with negatives in a dependent clause. Yeah. So in dependent clause we cannot. So because as we see here that in the middle we have the proverb or subject like I. Okay, so yeah, I hope it was really informative for you guys and see you next time. Bye.